overtaken by concern. "Glory, what's wrong?" "I can't, Glory bent forward, rested her hands on her knees, and tried to suck cool air into lungs that felt shallow and tight. "Breathe, Glory. Breathe." She felt Faith's hand on her back, rubbing in circles. "Don't say anything," Faith said when Glory tried to speak again. Glory squeezed her eyes shut and felt the events of the past 24 hours finally overtaking the numbness that had enveloped her since Faith's call. "I can't go back," Glory said, managing to swallow enough air to speak. "We have to go in. We can't not go in," Faith said, her hand still working soft circles on Glory's back. "No, I can't go back to LA." Glory lifted her head to look at her sister. Faith's face changed from concern to confusion. "Glory, forget LA. You're in London now." Glory shook her head and pulled herself up. She rested her hands on her hips and arched her back, letting her lungs expand and fill with more air. Faith watched her, tapping out an anxious rhythm on the railing. When Glory finally felt her breath slow to a bearable pace, she closed her eyes and allowed herself one last deep inhale. "Okay, I'm fine now." Faith nodded, turning back to the door and slipping in her key. The door opened onto a short corridor, then a small living space. Familiar smells of camphor, palm oil, and chili welcomed Glory, smells she had hated as a teenager, dousing herself in layers of cheap body spray to mask the scent of her house. But now Glory was grateful that everything had remained more or less the same. The same crucifix was nailed to the inside of the front door, guarding the entrance. The same cream-textured wallpaper ran through the room. The same brown leather sofa and armchairs. Glory's fingers found all these textures like they were talismans. She reached up and ran her fingertips over Jesus' emaciated metal body, before tracing one of the wallpaper swirls and pressing her fist into the soft give of the sofa. The living room was host to older women of various sizes. They cackled and talked over the television, the tonal song of their Yoruba colliding with the news anchor's clipped English. Seated in their father's armchair, Auntie Dotun was the first to see the sisters enter. "Ah! Mama Ibeji!" she called out, rushing to her feet to give Faith a hug. "Where are my twins? And how is Michael? I haven't seen you people for so long." Faith dipped into a discreet curtsy before their mother's old friend crushed her in a tight hug. Glory continued kneading the edge of the sofa. For a moment, it felt like the room was frozen in time. All the older women looking on Faith with open adoration as if she was the Blessed Virgin Mary incarnate. But the moment didn't last long enough, because as soon as Faith stepped to the side, Auntie Dotun's gaze pinned Glory down. "And the prodigal daughter has returned." It was an observation, not a welcome, and Glory didn't offer a deferential greeting, nor did Auntie Dotun swaddle her in a grateful embrace. Instead, the older woman offered both cheeks for Glory to kiss awkwardly before she presented her to the room. "Celeste, this daughter of yours has not been eating," Auntie Dotun called out to their mother, who wasn't actually in the room. Glory did the round of greetings, collecting loose hugs and clumsy pats on the shoulder. She could hear Faith now in the kitchen, scolding their mother for cooking instead of getting the rest she needed. She began making her way to join them, but as soon as her back was turned, she heard a comment slip out behind her, a sly whisper chased away by a snicker. "Na this one, Omo Britty Co." British girl. Glory bristled at this illogical insult. Each of these women had chosen to raise their own children in Britain, only to take issue with her generation's Britishness, and kept walking past the cluttered table.